going? My name is Ruby Price and welcome to day 13 of Vlogmas. Now Christmas is a fun time of year for most people, however there can obviously then be situations where Christmas becomes less fun for certain people, and that's why I'm making this video. This video is going to tell you 5 things that will make your trans and non-binary Christmases more enjoyable, more tolerable, basically just a more inclusive trans and non-binary Christmas. Some of these are aimed at the trans and Enbys who are watching this video, and some of this is aimed at the people who will be hosting trans and Enbys. You'll see why. But yeah, let's get going with 5 things that are going to make your trans and Enby Christmas better. Number 1. Buy affirming gifts. It's baffling why it needs to be said, because if you're worried about what to get someone, you are allowed to ask them what gifts they would feel comfortable receiving. If that trans man wants you to buy them a binder, buy them a binder. If that trans woman wants you to buy them lip liner, you buy them that lip liner. And even if the situation doesn't make it so that you can ask them what they would prefer, money always works. Just give the person how much you would be prepared to spend on them and allow them to then purchase it however they want. It might even go towards paying for prescriptions or whatever. If someone would like to pre-purchase the next 50 years worth of my prescriptions, that would be very nice. Number 2. That's 4. Number 2. Christmas support bubbles. I know. Everyone's fed up of hearing the term support bubbles this year. It makes no sense as it is. But a Christmas trans support bubble in a normal kind of year, it can be the thing that makes a difference. For the folks who aren't staying at home with their family because of some poor situation, you know, it's important to reach out to these people and also need to be prepared to provide support if that's what they are needing from you. The holiday period can be a really stressful time for people who have been estranged, and that tends to happen a lot with people who are LGBT. And for you trans and Enbys who aren't, able to go home for Christmas because of family problems, build yourself that bubble of friends and non-familial loved ones. Make a note of if they're available for a chat or a coffee. This year, obviously, make sure bubbles and stuff, but in any normal year, get the very best people around you, and provided that they're okay with that, have them be there to provide support should you need to just make that phone call, or whether it requires a face-to-face meetup, or even just a cuddle. A cuddle can save the world. Number 3. Sobriety. Obviously this one isn't very just specific to trans and Enbys because, cis people do drink and cis people suffer from substance abuse. And the holidays can be a very booze and substance heavy period. And queer folk are more likely to have misused previously. So what you need to do is be prepared as a host with soft drinks, not just a shitty lemonade. Get some appetizer, get some iron brew, get the fancy stuff, get the things that people are excited to drink. And be aware that really you shouldn't be pushing alcohol or any narcotic onto someone, whether they are unfortunate enough to have some negative history with it, or whether they're the party animal. It's also important to note that hosting a Christmas dinner doesn't mean that you get the only say in how Christmas is done. Your main job is to make your guests feel comfortable and safe, and if you're not doing that, you're failing as a host. Your guests should be your number 1 priority. Number 4. Self-care. Social situations can be stressful enough when you're trans non-binary, so at Christmas everything is turned up to 11. It's vital to be prepared with self-care plans for any situations that can arise. If you know that being surrounded by people for an extended period of time makes you really need to then have a bath bomb post that schedule, have that bath bomb ready. Have some candles, have some incense sticks, have somewhere that you can switch off, have a friend on standby that, will be there to pick you up and keep you safe at the exact moment you need them. When you're not hosting, your number 1 priority is yourself. You need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. And number 5, be the fucking Grinch. As long as you're not being a dick about it to other people, you don't have to take part in Christmas celebrations. If it's not your thing, whether you were raised that way or not, then it's not your thing. And no one has the right to force you to celebrate something you don't want to celebrate. If you don't like Christmas because Christmas means that you're going to some family that you don't like who, are transphobic or embiphobic or just any kind of phobic, you are allowed to say no and not go. So there are some resources in the description if you think you're going to need some more information. Thank you to my friends who helped me put this video together. The initial idea was mine and I asked a couple of trans and Enbys for some advice. It's worth mentioning if you're in the UK that the LGBT Foundation are running a helpline on Christmas Day. The number's on the screen, but it's also going to be in the description along with the other links. Even if you're feeling anxious about having to call someone for support, there will be someone friendly on the other end of that line who will absolutely make your day better. If you did enjoy that video, do all that generic YouTube stuff. Like, share, comment, subscribe, etc, etc. I do have a Patreon if you would like to support me. Links in the description. As always, I've been Ruby Price, and I shall see you tomorrow. Adios. Bye.